calendar. Obviously, from the last race, we were talking about the calendar, and since then, Mexico City has popped up as a possible place for next year. So is that a place that we could be going to next year, basically?
We're in conversation with Mexico City, so definitely that is one of the options for next year. We will be finalizing the calendar in the next 2 weeks, 3 weeks. So yes, that's one of the options. We have to see, balance well the number of races, because we shouldn't go too fast to too many races, particularly because we don't want to put also the teams under too much pressure. We need to grow on a structured way. But definitely, I think if I had to guess, and I have a little bit more information, probably Mexico would be a good option for us. And of course, as is known, we're waiting also on Paris' final decision. We hope it's positive, but we have to wait for the police basically to approve the event there in the streets of Paris. If we get that, then we'll definitely go to Paris. So those are more or less the options for next year.
Mr. Agag, what can you tell us about the development of the new systems from the 8 manufacturers?
Well, I know a little bit. They don't tell me that much because they kind of keep it in secret. But I know that how would I say? Some are going better than others or more advanced than others. So I know, for example, that one of them has already tested their powertrain, their car. Some others are about to start testing. Some others are still on the development phase. So probably at least 4 or 5, I think, will be ready for next season. There are 8 manufacturers that have registered and are currently developing their systems. If they don't make it on time, they can fall back on this year's car and have their powertrain for season 3. If they're ready, they will start racing with the new powertrain. But it's we saw it when we developed our own car. It's a very complicated and very also different project to develop one of these powertrains. So it's a challenge. But like I say, I think the ones who will put it in place could have a significant advantage in terms of performance. But on the other hand, could have a disadvantage in terms of reliability, because the system we have today in the car, no car basically has stopped in track since the beginning of the season. This Spark Renault has been a very reliable car. The new powertrains, maybe they have some reliability problem because the performance will be a little bit higher. So all in all, I think it's very interesting. I think this is really the essence of the championship, to be able to have a platform where there is technology competition. Obviously technology competition, and I was just talking now with a German colleague of yours. Technology competition may lead to a more imbalanced grid, because you may have cars that go much faster than others. But on the other hand, you need to balance that, because you want to have that technology competition to develop, the powertrains, the batteries, etc. for the future. So we will see what happens next year. We have this rule, as you know, that teams can buy someone else's car at a maximum cap price. So we want to really implement that rule to keep the playing field as competitive as possible.
Any more?
Jake Yorith, Race Engine Technology. Could you outline how you see the championship's technology developing, perhaps beyond 2016-17?
Yes. So the main challenge is obviously the battery. Powertrains, motors, and regeneration, etc., are also very important. But those are, let's say, the road for improvement on that is more clear. The road for a drastic improvement in battery is less obvious. And that's really where the difference will be made. If we have a battery that can store 2 or 3 or 4 times the energy that we store in these ones, this championship will be completely different. How and when that happens, we don't know. So we have a plan, and there is technology available today that could probably up to double the energy that we have in the next 2, 3 years, 4 years. So the target at the moment is to have a car that can do the whole race on season 5. Could we advance that to season 4? Maybe, but technology in this field is developing as we speak. So we keep the options open, we keep it flexible. What will likely be having discussions with the manufacturers, what will be likely is that we still go for a single battery on season 3 and 4. So everyone together finances the development of a much better battery, because the cost of developing these batteries is very, very high. And if the 10 teams, each one develops its own battery, we may get not a better result and a lot of money spent all around the grid. But probably for season 5, everyone will have to have their own battery. And in season 5 is when we hope to have the change to one car. And then architecture-wise, 4 motors, maybe the wheels, who knows. We keep the options open. I think it's important to keep the options open, but we've been talking with manufacturers. We should, even for year 5, we should define the architecture and where to go probably within season 2. So season 2, we will probably make the decisions about season 5.
And Straw from Autosport. Given the nature of the circuit, there's a little bit more space than some of the other tracks, and there's quite a few white lines marking the edge of the track. So how stringently is that going to be policed, either in terms of drivers exceeding track limits or drivers, should we say, fighting other drivers to exceed the track limits by forcing off?
Well, it's true, it's going to be interesting because there is a lot of space outside the lines. Well, I guess FIA will take a view on that and probably police it quite strictly, but also the field is very close. And you could see in Monaco, basically the guys were just really one after the other. After the crash it changed a little bit, but I think it will be very interesting to see how it works on this kind of track, and it's completely unpredictable. We've never done it before, really. So I think it's going to be very interesting. My view, my opinion is that we can have a really exciting race because of all these potential fights. Buenos Aires maybe was a little bit like this at some point, but you didn't have the white line, you had the wall. Normally we race, there is a wall, the track and the wall, and there is no space outside the white line. Here there is lots of space outside the white line, but in Buenos Aires, if you remember, at one point there were 4 cars side to side. I think we will see this here, or I hope we will see this here.
Any more? Timo from eFormel.de. Do you want to keep the double-header final in London for the next seasons?
In principle, yes. I mean, we will see how it goes this year, but in principle, probably yes, we would like to keep the double-header in London. Double-headers are a good idea, in my opinion, because we do a big infrastructure, this is a big investment to put together the track, so to use it for 2 days in a row is not a bad idea. Maybe we could even do a double-header here next year, who knows, but definitely London should stay probably as a double-header for the future.
And might we have more double-headers in the future?
Maybe yes, we're looking at it. The concept of Formula E is a 1-day Saturday event, and the double-header in London was a bit of an exception. Depending how it works, we may do maybe one more. Not full of double-headers, because also in some cities we can't. I mean, in Miami, for example, we almost didn't have time to do the race. We had to get in and out so fast. So in some places we only really are limited to Saturday because we are occupying the center of the city. But here in Tempelhof, for example, there would be no problem to race also on Sunday.
Is that it? Okay, well thank you very much and have a good race.
Thank you.
Welcome to the official press conference for the